Hello and good day, Mike Edcock with an update on Tropical Depression Zoraida in the Western Pacific. This is valid through Zero Zulu on the 12th of November. Real quick though, do want to give a quick update on Haiyan or Yolanda. It is weakening, or it is pretty much dissipated now over eastern China. Heavy rainfall still though going on there in eastern China. Death toll is climbing up pretty rapidly there in the central Philippines. The latest number I heard from a local media, a hard number anyway, was just shy of 1,800. Of course, still looking at potentially up to 10,000. Already seeing 13 deaths in Vietnam just from the flooding there in northern Vietnam, and then no reports yet of any casualties there in southern China, but they did pick up quite a bit of rainfall with this system as it's starting to fall apart. In other news, tropical cyclone news, out toward Somalia, we were tracking, if you saw on one of my YouTube videos, Deep Depression 1 or Tropical Cyclone 03A from the JTWC. It made landfall in northern Somalia and Puntland, and right now media reports are showing up to 100 deaths associated with that, a lot of flooding and damage associated with that. So keeping our eyes out there for Somalia as they try to recover, and they're looking for some relief out there. Alright, so looking at Zoraida, here's the latest multispectral imagery here. It is starting to look better, but still poorly organized. Right now we're seeing the center of circulation partially exposed. All this convection is sheared off to the west. Again, you know, some of the convection well out to the east here. You're seeing those gust fronts coming out from it, so not a very well organized system, which is a good thing. You know, we really at this time, especially as the central Philippines is recovering, you don't want this to be too strong of a storm. Unfortunately, you're still getting some showers and thunderstorms there across Mindanao and the Visayas as this thing moves across. Taking a look at JMA's prognostic reasoning, really nothing of note here. They're just taking this based on models and persistency. Still believe that, you know, based on the warm surface temperatures of the water, that this will become a tropical storm in the next 24 hours. That may be a little bit bullish. Nonetheless, here's the 8 a.m. Philippine time information from the Japan Meteorological Agency. The center of circulation is estimated about 65 kilometers southeast of Caraga, there in Davao Oriental, or 175 kilometers east of Davao City. This system is moving off to the west-northwest at 35 kilometers per hour, and the winds 55, gusting to 85 kilometers per hour. Pressure down to 1,004 hectopascal. Taking a look at our Dvorak Analysis, not much to note here either. JMA still the bullish of the agencies, 1.5 across the board, so a very weak system nonetheless. NESDIS, surprised that they even put forth this much effort. Data T and pattern were too weak to classify, so they opted to go with model for their final T with a 1.0. And for JTWC, they're noting a partially exposed circulation, and beyond that, it was too weak to classify. So taking a look at the big picture here, you can see Zoraida there in the southern Philippines. Remnants of Yolanda there in eastern China, that's starting to shear apart, and seeing that moisture wrap up with this cold front that just exited out of Japan. Big feature of note is this weak finger of the subtropical ridge extending across the Marianas and northern Philippines out toward Vietnam. This is helping to keep Zoraida from gaining a whole lot of latitude. It has gained some, right now about 7 degrees north, but still awfully low. That's partly the reason why, it's not developing, and because it's not developing, it's part of the reason why it's staying pretty far south. So it's a hand-in-hand cooperation effort there. Taking a look at JMA surface analysis, again, awfully south there along the southern periphery of this weak finger of the subtropical ridge. So this is going to take it across Mindanao and then emerge it over in the Sulu Sea. We see that with JMA's official forecast here, making landfall just east of Davao City. That being said, a lot of, because the thunderstorms are all sheared off to the west, right now, regardless of the center of circulation, the showers and thunderstorms are occurring right now over Mindanao and the Visayas. By this time tomorrow, expecting it to reemerge over the sea over the Sulu Sea, where it's expected to regenerate. I think JMA is a little bullish on this one, making it a tropical storm by this point. It's going to be crossing land, so I'm not very hopeful that it will become a tropical storm by this point, maybe 36 to 48 hours out. Pagaso's forecast a little bit further north. They take it actually making landfall there near Dumaguete City in Negros Oriental. Because of this track, a little bit further north, it takes it over more land, so it may be Thursday before this system actually gets its act together. Right now, Pagasa is going with 55 km/h winds for its current or initial intensity, rather. Heavy rainfall, 5 to 15 millimeters per hour, and still looking for the possibility of flash floods and landslides with this system. With that, we do have signal 1 raised. Therefore, northern Mindanao, there Bohol, southern Cebu, Sigur, Negros Island, all the way out toward northern Palawan. So right now, just signal 1, not seeing any upgrades at this time. JTWC still has not upgraded this to a tropical depression, and that's to be expected since this system is really too weak to classify using Dvorak. Still a high-risk area. Right now they're looking at 35 to 45 km/h winds currently. Looking at their bulletin, they're looking at satellite imagery showing this low-level circulation. Granted, it is consolidating. There is a lot of deep convection with it, but microwave imagery showing that it is still partially exposed. A lot of that deep convection is being sheared off to the west, and then ASCAD is showing a very elongated circulation with this system. Model data really hasn't changed a whole lot. Pretty similar to, or a compromise between what JMA and what Pagasa is showing across Mindanao, skirting Negros, and then crossing Palawan before reaching Vietnam in about 4 days' time. The good news is on the intensity guidance, we're seeing that to shift down southward in terms of intensity, and a lot of that is we're running out of time. It's almost made landfall, so you're not going to get any near-term strengthening. That just cuts your window shorter, so may see it develop into a tropical storm. That's what GFS is going with, but tropical depression, tropical storm in that vicinity should not become too intense. Right now, the real big story is going to be rainfall from the system. Again, spreading showers and showers and thunderstorms across Mindanao, the Visayas, as well as Palawan. GFS through Friday, storm total precipitation looking generally about 25 to 50 millimeters of rainfall. Out toward Palawan, since the system should get some development going on in the Sulu Sea, may see upwards to 100 millimeters, especially there in the south. And then we'll track this across and looking for showers affecting southern Vietnam as well. Not a whole lot to speak about here on the surface weather plots. Just showers there in the eastern half of Mindanao. Taking a look at Davao City, currently southerly winds pretty light, 7 kilometers there. Visibility is being restricted right now due to some light rain and pretty high pressure, currently 1,007 hectopascal. So that concludes the brief today on Tropical Depression Zoraida. Of course, you'll be getting more information on this system as well as the recovery efforts over at westernpacificweather.com. You can also follow along on Twitter and Facebook and join in on the conversation at storm2k.org. Thank you all for tuning in. Have a great day, be safe, and take care.